Change my Wi-Fi password.
What's up?
You started? Nice.
I just started. Dude,
What's up?
so, oh man.
No, that's a good question. Why, when you get internet,
You should change.
why would you change your Wi-Fi name to something else?
Well, first of all, your Wi-Fi name just to make it something more easily identifiable, I think. But I also think that
Yeah, but what
out
they
of all the worst passwords out there, it's password,
Yeah, but
your name, and then your phone number are like the top 3 worst passwords
Fine.
to use for anything.
But the first time I ever connect to my new internet, I'm never connecting again.
Yeah.
So why do I care? I mean, if other people,
I guess so. I mean, it took me 2 seconds to name mine Hershenov, and then
right? No, you're right. I have no idea how to change the name, but that's besides the point.
Yeah. So cheers.
Cheers. Couple of Bud Lights watching the U.S. Open.
Yeah, dude. I've been here. I've been to the U.S. Open a couple of times growing up.
Yeah, me too. So they're just warming up now with each other before it starts. That's how it always.
Get a feel for each other.
No, they just that's how they warm up. Now they serve a little bit, and then
you don't think it's funny that you wear a polo shirt as part of your sports attire?
I wear a polo shirt every Sunday morning.
Yeah, well, I know, but you don't wear a polo shirt to play basketball.
No, it's no. Sometimes I won't wear a polo shirt, but there are dress codes in Wimbledon. You can only wear white.
In general,
for the entire tournament, you can only wear white shorts and a white top. You can't wear any other color.
But you don't have to wear a polo shirt, do you?
No, you can wear a white T-shirt, but it has to be white, and your shoes have to be white.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
It's a very prestigious tennis tournament. Yeah.
That's cool. What? There's a bunch of them. There's Wimbledon. There's U.S. Open. What else is there?
There's
Australia.
A bunch
Open,
of tournaments.
Whatever.
There's a bunch of tournaments, but there are 4 what they're called Grand Slams, and that's like the ones you want to win. They're huge tournaments, huge payouts, like $5-10 million each.
Okay.
This is one of them, the U.S. Open in Queens, New York.
Shea Stadium. Right?
The other one is no, Arthur Ashe Stadium.
What's that?
It's a tennis court in U.S. Open. It's a huge stadium.
Didn't it?
It's across the street.
They did it in Shea Stadium forever.
It was across the street from Shea Stadium, but Shea Stadium doesn't
closed. Doesn't
I know.
exist anymore.
I mean, it's still city now, but Arthur Ashe Stadium's been around forever. This is where they're playing.
Yeah.
It's right off the Van Wyck.
Dude, I would never go to these games because from Muncie, it was so far to get. Like, you would drive an hour and a half to a Yankee game.
No, this was 15 minutes right off the Van Wyck from my house. Yeah. So you got U.S. Open, Wimbledon in England.
Yeah.
Then you got
Wimbledon's a big one. Yeah.
Huge one. Then the third one is the French Open in Paris.
That's legit too? That's
huge. And they're all different surfaces. Like
the types of floor that they're playing on?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. And no, so the fourth one is the Australian Open.
Okay.
So the Australian Open and the U.S. Open have the same floor. It's called a hard court. It's like cement.
Okay.
Wimbledon.
But it affects your knees. It affects everything.
Everything. Also, the surface affects the way the ball spins and goes.
Oh.
So it's a whole different strategy. French Open is on clay.
That's cool. That's got to be cool.
It's very, soft.
Yeah.
You could slide, but the ball still bounces. And Wimbledon is on grass. Extremely short cut grass. So it's like ground and it's all green, but it's grass, but the ball bounces and everything.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's got to be the coolest one to play on.
I've only played on the grass. It's very hard to find them because they're so hard to maintain.
Yeah. They're probably a fortune to maintain too. Forget how it's expensive and difficult to do. I would imagine. Dude, I'm happy they were doing this.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
So it's like a turf, yeah.
But it's not turf. I hate turf, by the way.
It's not. It's real grass.
Guy put up turf in his backyard, and I was like, dude, you got to get real grass.
Guy did the whole backyard turf?
No. The part that's not the pool.
Right.
The part that's not the pool and the part
yeah. I saw that.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks...
There's only one reason why I don't like turf. Because when the iguanas poop...
It just stays?
It just stays there. You got to clean it up. It's not like the earth absorbs it. Or
That's the only problem with it?
I mean, that's when I asked I was going to do it, and the gardener suggested not to because of that.
Along the edges?
All around the edge, yeah.
Okay.
And, get rid of a lot of stumps and, plants. Leave the nice trees up.
Yeah.
I want to do a ton of work, but whatever.
It's one thing at a time. The problem is, I think when I was growing up, it's crazy because the community that my parents live in, that I grew up in, started off like I think everyone that lives on the majority of the people that live on that block now have been living there since I was under the age of 5. Ooh, nice. That might be a lot.
It's like a half of one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you hit it with me, I'll hit it. I have a couple. So yeah. So anyway, so these houses, when these people moved in, these people had it almost kind of felt like our community in the sense that people were just starting off with their lives. They didn't have a lot of money. They got a $150,000-$250,000 house, maybe 300 if you're like splurging and like you had more work done to it. And then what everyone would do was for the next 20 years, either they did a little bit of work at a time and like little add-ons at a time. You would throw in a pool or you would add another like, part, and like they would like almost start over, but then now their houses are worth minimum $1 million a piece, and it was cool to it's cool, like it's cool to think about, but it's cool to see and like observe how over time, just little things that you do to your house, even though it's expensive, adds so much value. But you have to just be patient and you have to be willing to take 15, 20 years in order to get it done.
So here, I mean, this is just the way it goes, but what I've always found so frustrating is the correlation of the rates between like just pricing for everything,
yeah,
and the rate of salary. Like things get so much more expensive so much faster than your salary goes up.
Yeah,
which is so frustrating.
Yeah,
because like it's very hard to keep up.
Sure.
Sometimes in a good economy, it's better, but it's still that's still the case. Even in a good economy. So
yeah. Or in a good economy though, there's a lot of churn and a lot of when I say churn, I mean progression, right? So people don't stay in those low paying jobs for as long because if things are really running smoothly and people are learning their skills and getting better, then they're either getting hired out to better positions or making their way up in a company to allow them a little bit more, higher salary.
The more money you make, though, the bigger house you're going to buy, and the more taxes you're going to pay, and all that.
Well, sure, yeah, but you figure. But by the way,
all those expenses.
So yeah, you're not pocketing as much money at the end of the day, but your quality of life goes up. When you have that bigger house, and your 4 kids, have different bedrooms instead of cramming 3 kids into one, it makes a big difference.
It's funny because like the problem I just presented is such a first world problem.
Yeah,
like your salary doesn't totally like these.
No,
people,
it's not. By the way, it's not. The reason why the application you're talking about it in right now is, but it applies to everyone because it applies to everyone. If cost of living goes up, or the cost of your apartment rent or the cost of food goes up, and then your salary is not keeping up with it, then that's a problem. That's not a first world problem. That's an everyone problem. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about necessities over here.
But yeah,
dude, super. I it's funny. when we were in New York this summer, I thought I was going to save a shit ton of money. I was like, dude, no mortgage. We're not, we're not going to Costco twice a week, dude. We spent we spent a lot of money.
What did you do?
Nothing.
You spent the usual amount, or you still saved up a little bit?
I still saved up.
Right.
I saved up. I got in on 2 deals with my dad for machines. So I put in quite a bit of cash into it. So I was kind of starting from scratch from there. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about them though. I always get nervous about it because it's a depreciating commodity. So the longer that we hang on to the machine in inventory for, the less of a return we're going to make.
Do you sell internationally?
I do sometimes.
I feel like that's a huge market for like American made.
So it is a huge market. There's 2 things. Number one, most of the big companies, like let's say GE is a big company in the industry, and Philips, they have presence. They have presences in other countries too, right? So they're really able to kind of corner those markets, and then also other countries tend to have lower budgets than the States do, but they still want the same quality equipment. Whoa. Yeah. They still have the same quality equipment. They want so they want the same for less because they have less budget.
Right.
The only country I've always consistently done very pleasant business with is Dubai.
Interesting.
I've
And
probably
you ship
done.
it to them?
Yeah. So what I'll usually do. What
Obviously, how are they going to get it? But
Yeah,
right.
well, no, but a lot of times what these guys will do is they'll either do a bulk order, like let's say if they're a dealer, right,
Yeah.
and they'll get like 5 or 10 hospitals to do an order with them, and then they'll get like a big boat or like a big like a big,
Yeah.
like one big batch
That's awesome.
shipment, and get that done,
That's cool.
and so instead of paying for individual shipping, they say, listen, how much will it cost to get us to the dock in New York? That'll cost $200. How much would it cost to get to Dubai? Probably $4,000. I mean, you have to do
Correct.
customs and
Yeah.
whatever. But taxes, customs, importing, exporting, actual, getting on a boat or a plane, palleting it, everything.
Shipping is also out of control.
Yeah, shipping rates have been crazy.
No, like a lot of my products, the shipping is very nearly the cost of the product itself.
No way.
Yeah.
So,
So like
do you think it's better to mark the product up and then charge no shipping, and people feel better about that?
correct. So that's we do that on some products, um, but I would. There's definitely not the majority of products are like that, but there are like shipping rates are crazy, and I have to justify our prices every day to these customers.
If you by the way, this could help your decision. Yesterday I bought a book on eBay,
Mm-hmm.
The Doors of Perception by Aldous Huxley. It's about his take on the value of psychedelics in society, right? He was Aldous Huxley was like one of the great minds in the last 100 years, or great writers for sure, and more than 100 years now, I guess, or almost 100 years. He
I've heard the name. I can't.
He wrote Brave New World.
Never heard of it.
Yes, you have. You did it in school, dude.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Anyway, so I'm on eBay. I'm looking. I always buy books on eBay, by the way, because when books have the craziest loss of value when they're secondhand. I've bought brand new books
Uh-huh.
that are $35 in Barnes and Noble or $25, $30 on Amazon. I bought them for $7 on eBay.
Wow.
A week after they came out, just because they were red and the person just wants to get rid of it now. And so there was one. So there's one option for the book from one seller that was $4 for the book, and $4 for shipping. And I bought a book that was $7.50, but free shipping, or $8 and free shipping. And I was like, there's something about the feeling of paying the same cost of shipping
100%.
as the book itself.
100%.
I was like, and then as I was checking out, I was actually laughing to myself. I was thinking to myself, like, the reason why I'm clicking buy now is because one guy thought to mark it up and make free shipping,
Right.
and the other guy didn't think about
It's
that.
just the way it looks when your mind reads it. Like, what would you rather buy? Something that's $40 or $39.99?
Yeah, that's one of the first things my dad taught me in business, by the way, in my life. He was like,
Exactly.
every single price he would give me, it would end with a
Okay.
99 or 95.
So I have a book. It is so up your alley. You will fall in love with it. It's called Predictably Irrational.
Okay.
Or I don't know. It's a guy who just goes through the whole psychology of all that.
Sure.
All that.
Yeah,
But
dude.
it's brilliant. It brings up stories and this and that. I'll give it to you.
I'd love to read it, dude.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. I fell in love with it.
I'm sure it's out there, and I actually would love to find the book about it. I'm so the psychology behind casinos, and like all the tricks that casinos play to keep you on the floor,
Right.
to keep you engaged, dude. Like it goes down to the smallest minutia, the smallest fraction, dude. And that stupid shit, like, yeah, they give you free drinks so you keep on playing.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, no.
for them, like every $2,
They know
beer
exactly
they give
what
you,
they're
they're getting $10 in hand of poker from you. But everything, dude, the machines, the colors of the floor, the colors of the lights, like the way that
Thought out.
everything is just the most meticulously planned and so well thought out. It's like Disney World. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I would love to find a book that talks about that and accounts for that. Yeah.
Ooh. Sorry, a little awkward pause here watching the
No, that's all right, dude. Nothing like dead air on a on a podcast without video.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah, dude. So one of the things I found about doing this recently, last night I recorded episode with my friend Sam. It was an hour 45.
Uh-huh. Jeez.
And then I
Long.
recorded one today with my friend Michael. That was an hour and a half, right before I came here, right? And doing this, like, you know how we talk about, like, different things like creativity and reading, like, they're all, like, muscles you have to, like, flex.
Yeah.
Making conversation is a muscle that you have to flex and work on, dude. And it's so crazy. Like,
I hear that.
I can see how for Lex Friedman or Joe Rogan or, you know, whoever, or Huberman or anyone that, like, the 2-3 hour podcasts, how they could be 2 or 3 hours realistically, because like it's an art. Like, you have a conversation, you take a detail and you pull it like a strand, and you just keep it going, and then you get back to the original point. You make that point, and then you bring up something correlated to that, and you pull those strands for as long as you can, and like it's literally just the slowest way of getting to those.
The way Rogan does it though, he'll change the subject on a dime totally, and go off on a different tangent. He'll talk about sharks, and then he'll be like, and then he'll talk about sharks, and then he'll go into Trump. And he'll be like, speaking of Trump, what do you think about assassination? And like, I thought we were talking about sharks.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a little more of the comedy mind. I think.
Yeah, 100%.
The comedy is the freewheeling associations where you just say anything that comes to your mind.
Lex Friedman could just have a conversation.
Yeah, but you know what? I bet it's. You know what's interesting? I feel like, listen, I walk away from these podcasts tired, but like feeling good, like feeling fulfilled and accomplished and invigorated. But I don't. But I'm like tired, right? I think that when Rogan does this, it's like so natural for him that it's not exhausting for him. I could see Lex Friedman having to like build the stamina to be able to go for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours that he does. But that takes that stamina. Like that's like.
Yeah, but that's you and Rogan are like that. That all you want to do is just talk. You just want to have a conversation.
Yeah, shoot the shit, man.
Right. Lex Friedman wants to get information out of someone.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan just wants to shoot the shit.
Yeah. It's different. It's interesting because I guess you call it a talk show. Yeah, it's really all it is. It's not so much like podcast is just the medium that people are going about it, the way that people are going about it, and then you have like podcasts that are interviews. By the way, I also think it's dumb as hell that they have an out that's before the court ends.
Well, that's the doubles line.
Oh, when there's doubles,
that's
it expands.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so smart, actually.
2-on-2. It expands. Yeah.
I apologize to the
tennis community.
To the tennis community,
but yeah, the players can challenge actually.
The calls?
If they think it's in and the umpire called it out, then they go to the video screen, and there's a digitized monitor that shows exactly where the ball hit.
Do you get a certain amount of challenges in a game?
Yeah. I think you only get 3 per match.
You're wearing a Lacoste shirt, dude.
Yeah,
his shirt costs $150.
He's sponsored by Lacoste. His shoes are Lacoste.
Really?
Yeah, he's sponsored by them.
I wore a pair of Lacoste sneakers one time in high school.
Anything these guys are wearing, that's their sponsor.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, that's just...
For sure, dude.
Oh, no, he's
no, dude, those are Lacoste sneakers.
So he's sponsored by them also. You could be sponsored by multiple...
Yeah. But by the way, different contracts are much more or less binding and stringent, you know?
These guys, they make like $10 million a thing, but Djokovic, one commercial is $50 million.
Yeah, exactly. The real money in being famous does not come from your activity, it comes from your
sponsor. Talking about these guys, the European market, do you know how much the European market pays these guys? Like, it's a totally different ballgame. That's why these supermodels...
How much do they pay? Do they pay them more than Americans, you're saying?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. The supermodels, like... Giselle in like Paris, whatever, they'll pay $100 million for a shoot. Not, I'm exaggerating, but like a ton of money for like 2 hours.
Yeah. Huh. You gotta get a lot prettier real quickly, dude.
Dude, Jennifer Aniston does like a perfume.
I love Jennifer Aniston.
She gets paid a ton.
She reminds me of my aunt. I have an aunt that reminds me of Jennifer Aniston, dude.
Like personality wise or looks wise?
A little bit of both, actually. I mean, without all the plastic surgery nowadays. But you know, she still looks good. It's funny because I don't notice these things about people. I never noticed makeup really. I can never notice if someone does Botox or like. What I could catch is nose jobs,
Right.
because
Yeah.
I think every single one of my aunts and uncles have gotten
I think
those
it's the
nose
most
jobs.
common. It's the most common.
But you can identify the look
Right.
of a nose job nose. But that's the only thing that that's the only like, you know, quote unquote makeup or work that someone could do for
Well,
themselves that I would notice.
but there's also like there's no wrinkles and you're 87. So like you know what I mean? Like
You know, I was thinking about wrinkles today after I showered, dude. I was putting on my cream, my dry skin cream.
yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Like, you pick up like your eyebrows and like you get a couple of forehead wrinkles, and I'm like,
of course.
that's gonna be here for like ever soon. That's crazy.
Forever.
Dude, your phone ringer's on? How fucking unprofessional is that, douchebag?
Yeah. Showing up 45 minutes late. Showing up 45 minutes late.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, I just had to say it.
Of course. You watch the new Shane Gillis Bud Light commercial?
Great.
Dude, so funny, right?
I'm afraid of horses.
Does that count? Dude, I love that he's doing this, by the way.
Of course.
I love that he's getting this attention. I love
I don't know if I should get more Bud Light.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
The attention he's getting for the Bud Light.
Yeah, but just in general, like he's become like he's. It's so interesting. There's a lot of people that have been fighting their way back from being canceled recently, like in the last year or two. I think a lot of people that were previously canceled.
You just have to really not give a shit, and he doesn't care.
No, but forget about give a shit. You need you need someone to give you one opportunity.
He also wants.
Netflix gave him a shot.
Wants his Bud Light. He doesn't want to be criticized for it, so he has to save the company just so he can continue drinking it.
Yeah, dude, seriously. And he will, dude. He's the anchor. By the way, that was a crazy
Point.
Yeah. That's what you call him, a point?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Do you know how the scoring works?
It's yeah. It's also stupid, right? What is it? It's 15, 30, 40, win.
It's first to 4.
Love.
It's first to 4 points. That becomes a game. Each set is best out of 7
But
games.
it's not 4 points. It's 15, 30, 40.
But that's 4 points.
I know, but why those numbers?
I have no idea. That's stupid. I don't know. Okay. I don't know the history of tennis or anything. I just am addicted to playing it. Literally addicted. I can't wait till...
You're not going to get into pickleball?
No, tennis is just... Once you get it down and you start being good at it, there's nothing like it. It's so hard to dictate where you want to put the ball. It's all body movement, how your shoulders turn. Like,
right.
If you want the ball here, you have to keep... it's a whole...
I can kind of see how that's the case, because baseball is kind of like that, too.
It's so hard, though. It's so hard. And once you get it down, you feel so accomplished.
I'm a great baseball player. You know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude.
I
never really played. I was always that was one of the only one of the only things in my life that I ever felt like a natural knack for.
What position?
I don't know.
Oh. No, I was very into softball.
I wouldn't play. I mean, I play outfield. I wouldn't play
baseball, not softball.
Baseball. I play. Yeah, baseball.
Okay, because I
play outfield.
I only did softball.
I'm not I actually I would get afraid of a 150-mile-an-hour ball flying at me as a shortstop.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't. But I love the feeling of tearing across the field to catch a fly ball.
Right.
You know, like I enjoy that more. I think that's
for sure. I played center field one year. It's okay. I played center field one year, but my main position was obviously first base.
First base.
The big guy.
Are you a lefty?
Yeah. In baseball I am. In basketball I'm not. In hockey I'm not. Very weird.
So I'm a lefty in baseball.
Okay. So
I'm a righty in basketball.
There you go.
But the reason I'm a righty in basketball is because I learned how to play basketball in 6th or 7th grade.
Oh wow, late.
Yeah, dude. I was a dweeb, man.
Okay.
I still am, but I was way more then than I am now, and I used to shoot a basketball with 2 hands. Right?
Oh, wow, that's dweebish.
Yeah, dude, it was tough. And so I joined the basketball team in 8th grade, and the coach said, "Are you a lefty or a righty?" And to this day, I have a very difficult time immediately thinking of associating left and right.
Okay.
I have to do the little L with my with my hand.
Yeah.
So I didn't. So he asked me, and I was so nervous. I just picked up a hand. I didn't think about what my strong.
And you just forced yourself to shoot.
And I just learned how to play. I just
love
learned
it.
how to play basketball righty.
So funny.
And I mean, so I was always comfortable finishing left because I'm a lefty. But
You're a good baller. That's such a
I'm
good.
very comfortable with both hands.
Yeah, that's
all over
great.
the court. Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, dude, we never played basketball together.
Never. I gave it up.
You're done?
I think so. I just got invited to the league again.
You don't have to play professionally. We play pickup together.
It's not professionally.
In a league, and consistently, intensive,
but,
whatever.
But it's first of all, it's not worth it for me to roll an ankle and be out for 3 weeks. In tennis, the day after I play basketball,
You can hurt yourself in tennis too.
Yes, but the day
You
after,
blow a knee out.
100%. The day after I play basketball, I can't move. The day after tennis, I could get up.
That means it's the worst workout.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, dude.
No, that's not true.
The more sore you are, the better workout you get.
Not necessarily. I don't agree with that.
Unless you're holding your breath.
Because tennis also when I took it up, I didn't realize what new muscles you're using for that sport.
Oh,
and you're
shit, dude.
You're just activating them,
dude. When I play basketball every 6 months.
Yeah. Exactly.
The day if I play, even it only happens if I'm playing threes, fours, or full court. The next day I cannot move my body, and I jog six or 7 days a week. It has nothing to do with my stamina. It has everything to do with the fact that those are muscles that I do not ever use, dude.
Wait, so let's play tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
We'll get a 2-on-2 at Hollywood Hills Elementary.
Yeah.
It's open after.
What day's tomorrow? What day is
Thursday?
Tomorrow's Thursday. What are you doing tomorrow? What's scheduled tomorrow?
Work, and then we'll play ball. Me, you, Guy, and one other person.
Time?
Or, oh, fuck that. I was going to say, do it on the chat. Whoever wants to come can come.
I always feel so stupid committing to playing a game of basketball.
Because you're going to die.
That's
You'll
not
drink,
why,
it,
by
you'll
the
drink
way.
it off on Shabbos.
What?
You'll drink it off on Shabbos.
No, the reason why is because if I'm going to work out once a day and I know basketball is not as good of a work, there's a great Calvin Hobbes where Calvin asks, he sees his dad working on his bike, and he goes, "Dad, what's it like being an adult?" He's like, "It's pretty similar." He goes, "Oh no," he goes, "How come adults don't play games?" He goes, it's called working out, and you have to keep track of everything you do, and you have to like measure, and like he goes, like as you get older, like you don't measure your physical activity by what's fun, you do it by what's good for you, and so like I love basketball, but if I'm gonna choose to go on a 4 mile jog or play cues, I'm gonna do my 4. I feel dumb not going on my jog,
But you can always do the jog after basketball.
It's hard to do, especially here now, especially
after
in August.
The jog.
I know, but August here it's hot.
I'm gonna get the beers.
Good idea, dude. I'll just keep on talking.
There's no pause?
No, you know what? I think you could.
By the way, you gotta take this back to Sarah.
What is that?
It's Sarah.
Okay. There is a pause, but every single time that I pause, it cuts off the recording and starts a new one. I have to start looking. I'm gonna keep on talking. Kivi's not here anymore. I have to start looking for another app to use because it's not even an app to use. What I really have to do is I really have to just get my act together. I have to just get myself a microphone and learn how to upload a file from the microphone. And I don't think it's very difficult to do. I just have to get myself to do it. And I actually have a microphone sitting in my house, actually in storage at the moment. But when I was with Ari Mendelo in Seattle, we wanted to start a podcast called Borderline Offended and talk about borderline offensive topics, which is actually kind of the total opposite of what I'm trying to do right now. And hey, man. So I have a microphone from them. What's up, dude? What do you got? Oh, the book.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, you own the book, dude. It's so convenient. I don't have to buy it on eBay for $7.
It's so good. The
Hidden Forces That Shape Our Decisions. Dude, there's a book called Thinking Fast and Slow. It's exactly this.
Yeah, but this guy's great writing.
Surprisingly entertaining. Ariely's book makes economics and strange happenings... What? Makes economics and the strange happenings of the human mind's fun. Oh, that makes sense. That's cool.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's a great book. That's good. I need a book. I'm reading this book right now about...
It's not a story. He's just...
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm reading a book right now about the guy that Rogan had on.
Andrew?
No. The German guy.
Is it German?
What's his name? Norman something. Euler. Norman Euler. And his book about psychedelics, the CIA, and Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
Dude, crazy book. But it's kind of also written a little. It's translated from German. So the language is like proper, like he's writing a casual
Stern
narrative.
and exact.
What?
It's very stern and exact.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. It's
Very
stern and exact.
It's very Nazi.
Yeah, well, it's where the Nazis came from, man. Grassroots.
I love what Huberman when he asked Rogan how many
You watched that episode, by the way?
I'm like halfway into it, whatever.
Dude, I got hard the second I saw
Why?
the second I saw the names Huberman and Joe Rogan.
Why?
Because
He's a
I
great guy.
I listen to Huberman's podcast
Right.
all the time. Like they're my
Okay.
two favorite people.
What's it called? How many dogs would you kill to save one man?
Yeah, no, that wasn't
Yes,
Huberman.
what was
That was the guy Jack something, the English guy.
Oh right.
Because the English guy was saying
Whatever that was, I thought that was hysterical. And Rogan's like, fuck that guy. I'm not killing no fucking dog.
Wasn't there? I think there was a story of a fraternity in Rutgers that they made the pledges kill puppies after a semester.
Oh God.
Yeah,
People
dude.
jailed for life.
Isn't it crazy what people do
Well,
in terms of like frats and hazing and stuff like that?
I know a guy who wanted to test as a kid if cats really had 7 lives.
No way. He killed his cat?
No. He wanted to see, so he would take the cat and throw it off the roof.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, and it would just like.
What are you talking
the cat
about?
would,
How old is this kid?
No, he was like now he's like an adult. So
I know. How old was he when he was doing this?
Oh, like 6.
He threw his cat off the roof as a
cat, like the town cat, and like had a
town cat.
No, it's not. It gets worse. It gets worse. Like it had broken legs. He's like, oh, okay, that's one life. He would take it back up. To the
No.
Yep.
No chance.
Yep.
Do I believe that story, dude?
Dude,
I love you, man.
He wanted to test it.
I think.
And eventually, it was just couldn't walk anymore.
I believe in benefit of the doubt, and I believe.
First of all, you've heard stories a million times worse.
I have never heard of a story of a 6-year-old that throws a cat off a roof 6 times.
Me? Should I tell you what one of my friends did?
9 times.
What one of my friends did, not like 5 years ago.
Oh dear. Okay.
He lives in the 5 towns. He had raccoons underneath his porch, right?
No. By the way, raccoons suck.
Right. So he wanted to get rid of them. So you're gonna crack up from this story. He leads them into a garbage pail that's on the floor, like on the side, so they could crawl in.
Yeah,
He puts food at the bottom.
Yeah.
And all of them crawl in. And he puts it upright and closes the lid. Now he's got all these raccoons in the garbage. Right?
Yeah.
Like screeching. And what does he start to do? He starts filling it up with water. He fucking drowned like 5 raccoons. Okay? That's how he got rid of them, dude. He put a hose in, okay, and you heard them like squealing for their lives until yes.
Dude.
I'm like, when he told me that story,
that's one of the worst things that I've ever heard in my entire life. That guy could have been a Nazi.
So when Orthodox Jew, so
somebody could do something like that to another being.
He fucking waterboarded these raccoons and killed them. And then he just like dumped them on the they were the bodies.
He left that as a message for the other ones.
He told that story. He said, "You need therapy, dude."
Dude, that's a serious.
I said, why didn't you call the raccoon guy? Like, what? Why isn't that the first step? You know what I mean?
That's one of the craziest things I've ever. This guy's married.
Yeah, kids. Married with kids. I feel bad for those kids.
Dude, that's why you should have to go through like take a psychological test before you get married, dude. Like, you have the right to know that your spouse is not going to be a psychopath that waterboards other animals to send messages to other animals and they won't understand. Who is that?
That's that guy.
George Clooney?
No. That entrepreneur who's on social media all the time. Gary Vaynerchuk.
Who?
Gary Vaynerchuk?
I never heard of him.
Really?
Yeah, who is he?
He's like a self-made multimillionaire. But he's all about what's it called? Motivational speaking. Like I came from nothing.
One of those guys, Tony Robbins kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly. But he's more like hip. Like, yo, what's up? Yeah.
Dude, I would love for you to be hip one day. I would love for you just to walk around doing what you think is hip.
That'd be so embarrassing.
It'd be so funny, dude. I'm so out of touch with what's culturally fashionable or cool or young, dude. And I'm really okay with it.
Like David's girlfriend was saying I should go to Burning Man. I said there's no fucking chance I'm going to Burning Man.
I wanted her to get on the show. She wanted to be on there on Shabbos. And so did David. I texted him. He didn't get back to me, dude.
He doesn't want to be on it. He doesn't text back. Sorry, David, if you're watching.
No, I'm not so sorry, dude. Get on, man. Come on. We're waiting for you. You know, I know it's all about come together.
Oh, I was thinking Labor Day.
Yeah, dude.
You should hit record.
Oh, first of all, yes. Second of all,
Labor Day Bash episode, whatever.
By the way, you know what we can also do? We can do a live episode of the hot dog eating contest on Netflix. Joey Chestnut's playing that.
I thought we should do it.
No, I'm not doing a hot dog eating contest. Are you crazy, dude? Oh my god.
That sounds horrible.
It sounds like the least pleasant thing on this planet, dude.
Like, I'm down to eat one hot dog.
By the way, that's it, right? You'd stop after one?
Probably, maybe two.
I love hot dogs.
Yeah, but they're so bad for you.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I can't justify it.
You can never justify a hot dog.
Can you imagine eating 72 of them?
Ugh.
In 10 minutes or whatever he did it in?
They're not living long.
He's not young, dude. And he does it every year. And he trains. And apparently, by the way, there's multiple food tournaments.
He didn't do it this year.
Yeah, you know, because he's doing this.
Well, oh.
He didn't do... He got kicked out of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest because he endorsed another vegetarian hot dog.
Kicked out. They want a new winner.
No, they don't. Dude, when you have the goat...
Did you see the lemonade chugging?
No.
It was like 2 gallons of lemonade first to chug the whole thing. This guy did it in 21 seconds.
Did he puke after?
No, he's like a champion. This other guy who only drank like a quarter of the bottle, they zoom in on him. He pukes everywhere, dude. Just pure lemonade comes right back out. Just...
Oh my goodness, dude. Dude. I kind of I get it. I can't imagine justifying being the athlete. Like, I can get behind the sport, but the fact that the sport exists is pretty crazy.
It's a sport.
It's a sport, dude. Dude, 75 hot dogs in 10 minutes?
Is pool a sport?
Yeah.
Is bowling a sport?
Absolutely.
Lebowski.
Yeah, dude. Of course the bowling is a sport. A sport is...
The robe was just auctioned off.
The Big Lebowski robe?
Yeah. I think it went for like 200K or something, 300K.
Dude, I was in Aspen for a couple... Actually, it's 5 years ago now, dude. 2019. I was moving to Seattle. It was 5 years ago now.
You were moving to Seattle.
And my grandmother lives in Aspen, and we stopped by for the weekend because we were driving across the country. And so over the weekend, we're walking through. In the summertime, Aspen has like this. The middle of town has like this giant open market.
Okay.
There's like a pedestrian only, couple of blocks at a shop.
Cool.
And they have a beautiful open like market with everything.
You have Rainier?
No, it's Colorado. It's Aspen, but there are mountains. Dude, I had a view of Rainier from my living room.
I want to go to what's it called? There's a section of Canada, Alberta.
I heard of in Banff.
I've never seen views like that in my life.
Oh yeah, well you go to the West Coast. You go to the West Coast and you get plenty of views like that.
No,
too.
Banff especially.
I know, but you could go to Cascades National Park. You get those kind of views. You can go to the one in Montana, Glacier. You can get those views. Dude, those are some of the most incredible parts of the world, man.
Insane. I haven't went, and my dream is to do it.
Dude, okay.
Dude, when I'm old enough to have enough money and like not work as much, I'm taking a road trip around the whole country with my family.
You're gonna have the best time. You know, my friend
The whole summer.
my friend Zach, his parents when they retire, they want to rent an RV and hit all 50 states.
That's what I
And
want
hit
to
the
do.
Chabads and all them,
Yeah.
dude. And they're gonna do it, by the way. They're just a couple years out.
Thing is, RV just to rent for like 2.5 months.
No, RV's a fortune, dude.
No, that's what I want to do though. I want to do it right.
Yeah, but you. By the way, you know, I almost bought an RV last year.
Of course you did.
I
You're just like your father, dude.
it was my dad's idea.
Yeah.
So I was gonna buy this RV, which actually would have been really useful for this point in my life because we were homeless. And like, imagine living in an RV for the last 5 months. Do you know how cool that would have been for me and
Oh my
Rachel?
god.
But
I know to rent one, it's like $300 a day or something.
I can't change the crap tank.
Right. I could.
I wouldn't change the crap tank, dude.
There are ways to do it. There are stations. You don't have to do it by hand.
Yeah, of course you don't have to do it by hand, but but still, like, this sounds like such an unpleasant process. You know, like,
First of all, you have to take a crap.
they're
Just
so inconvenient.
pull off at a gas station. Only pee on the RV. If you have to take a crap,
No.
you pull
What are
over.
you gonna do in the middle of the night? You have to poop at 10 o'clock at night.
You pull over to a diner. I don't know.
No, dude. And also, by that point, you're parked. You're parked for the night usually because you have to find like an RV.
Shit in a bag and throw it out the window.
Dude, in college, I know someone that took a dump on someone's floor.
Oh God.
Like,
Some
he was
real-
one of those kind of like.
Some real Johnny Depp situation right there.
Dude, they were like, "Oh, you know, it'd be funny if so, like there's like 3 guys. There's a prank war going on in the
Yamaka.
where?
U.S. Open. Yeah.
Where's he going?
This is in Queens, dude.
I know, but where's he look? What's he looking for? You think?
The kosher stand.
The kosher stand? He's gonna be here, dude. Which
Dude,
one?
Kosher stand 100%.
You know they're probably spending, what is it, $12 for that bag of chips?
At the kosher stand, it's 22.
It's crazy.
That's how my dream was to open up a food truck on Pesach on Miami Beach.
Well, you could do that.
A Pesach food truck.
You know how much money you'd make, dude?
Oh my God. $20 for a basket of fries that costs us 75 cents.
Yeah. Yeah. You make a kill.
It's nuts.
By the way,
let's do it.
I was about to say, it doesn't have to be like a business. You could do it. You could choose to do it just last minute. Just get a food truck and just do it.
You have to caution. I know, yeah, you can do it right.
Okay,
yeah.
fine. You need a week. You need a week beforehand to get ready. I mean, you don't really need much.
And you need but you need permitting.
No,
No,
you just drive around whenever
No.
it gives you a hard time. You just
permitting takes
drive
months.
away.
No, if you want to do it right, you get the permit, but you're still making.
What the fuck animals do you have back here, dude?
I don't know. It's not gonna bother us.
I know, but they've been like surrounding us.
Oh, that's where they live.
This is where you live, dude.
Dude, we
This
live
is your
on,
house,
we live
brother.
on Earth where all the animals live.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You bought this house. You could pay to have. He could pay to have it.
Dude, by the way, the one thing that's literally keeping it away from here is our voices.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, for sure, dude. So anyway, when you are able to take a trip and take a vacation, I drove from Seattle to San Francisco.
What is that, like 16 hours or whatever?
Yeah, something. It was 12 if you took the most direct route, and for us it was 16 or 17.
PCH?
No, but that's where we went on
Oh,
purpose.
okay.
So yeah, we hit the. So basically, we went from Seattle down to Portland. Then we went west to, and there is no real further west than Oregon, right? That's the ocean. So we went west for 2 hours till we got to the Pacific Ocean.
Okay.
And then we drove 2 days south, and all these little beach towns, and all these, and what?
Nothing. You're good.
I think it's in the front end.
No. I said you're fine. I just wanted to see what it was, but I think it's going that way.
All these beach towns, all these terrains. There's black sand beaches. There's forests along the beach. Like it's really crazy. It's really beautiful. And we both said, like, dude, if we had a week and a half or 2 weeks, I would take 2 weeks and just go back and forth between, like, just go down
Just
from
the coast.
just the coast one time and spend time in each of these little cities and little towns, dude. These little beach towns are incredible. But it was one of the best drives. And on the way back, we stopped at a place called Crater Lake, and Crater Lake was a volcano
Wow.
that erupted and has been inactive for so long that it's filled with rainwater. So it's technically the world's largest lake because it's the length of a mountain, dude, or a volcano. It's the length of a volcano.
What's this called?
It's called Crater Lake. It's incredible. It's so cool. Dude, it's incredible. And it's crazy. At the bottom of the mountain,
I have chills down my spine.
On the bottom of the mountain,
Doesn't look real.
It doesn't look real, dude.
It doesn't. It looks like a painting. Holy shit! You could go to that middle island.
Yeah, you could.
And you could climb to the top.
I don't know. It's crazy that an island formed. Like that's the last.
Probably the lava that hardened.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Cooled off lava.
But yeah, at the bottom of the mountain, it's hot. Like you're coming out of a desert in order to get there, right? In the desert, so it could be for us. The windshield said 101 degrees with dry heat, right? Because it was California or southern Oregon, I guess, right?
Okay.
And then and then when you got to the top of the mountain, what'd you say?
I said I'm going to Crater Lake.
Dude, you got to. And then at the top of the mountain, there's snow, and it's less than 2 hours away. And you're like, I just drove an hour and a half, and I went from 101-degree weather to a snow-covered mountain.
It's still like 50, 60 degrees, but it's snow.
Yeah, because it's not hot enough for the snow to melt.
I heard like you could ski in California with a t-shirt on or something.
Also, Colorado, dude. When I went skiing once when I was like 12 in Colorado. I haven't skied since then, we came with our stuff, and we were all just wearing like long sleeve T-shirts and ski pants going down the mountains.
So cool.
Yeah, it was really incredible.
That was in Aspen by your grandmother.
Yeah, dude. That place, Aspen's such a cool place. Colorado's a really cool state. Have you been there before?
I haven't been to a lot of places. I've mainly just been on the East Coast a lot.
The East Coast is so inferior to the West Coast.
Oh, I understand that.
That's just in terms of the nature.
That's why I'm dying to go. The nature's just out of control. All I see is pictures. Like I need to go to Colorado.
There's something about the West Coast. I don't know.
But that's the thing. So you're right. If I do an RV or whatever, a road trip, or whatever, I should just do the West Coast.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You don't have to do.
And then
who gives a crap about Iowa?
So I would fly my family West Coast, rent something there, and then fly back.
Yes. Or even just return it, or even return it in Florida. A lot of these RVs are one way. Could be one way. Right. But
put some couches in the back of a U-Haul. You're good to go.
Yeah, dude. Take my couches from my townhouse.
It's the most illegal thing I ever know.
But there's something about the West Coast mountains that are just more picturesque and grand and like they pop. Like I think like in the East Coast, mountains are rolling, so they kind of like just look like kind of like a low slope. When you're in the West Coast and there's a mountain that comes up, it's just like a giant jut up in the middle of a terrain, and you're like, what is that? Like what do you call it? When you see Mount Rainier in Seattle, dude, and it's incredible.
You feel like you're actually on like a planet.
Yeah.
But like, growing up, the only thing I had.
Your family didn't travel? Growing up?
No, so every Sukkot we would go to New Hampshire in the White Mountains.
Okay, that's quite a heard of it.
New Hampshire.
I know where New Hampshire is. I know what the White Mountains are.
It's a gorgeous. The elevation is really high. It's gorgeous mountains. We did a ton of hiking. The views were also incredible, but like the stuff I've seen on the West Coast, you're right. It doesn't compare.
Yeah,
it just doesn't.
Once you hit Colorado, and even Colorado, by the way, people associate Colorado with mountains. Denver and east of Colorado is just plains. It's just like farmland.
Right.
Then west of Denver is mountains, and then like an hour west of Aspen is desert, like just like full on desert. And you're like, I didn't even realize how much one state could, how much beauty like one state could have.
No, so my
And you go to
sister,
Florida and everything looks exactly like here.
my sister took her family on vacation to Colorado, and she came back. She told me, she's like, I can't even explain it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
It's a great state, and they have phenomenal weed there.
yeah. Well,
Excellent. Yeah, I think Colorado and Seattle were the state of Washington are the two most beautiful states that I've been to. Like by there's like no close third. Like I
Right.
can't think of another state that's like as nearly as beautiful as either one of them.
so cool.
I wanted to go to Seattle this summer actually, but
You didn't want your kid to change his gender?
I didn't want my kid to change his gender. For starters.
Well, your
It's
consent means nothing there, dude.
It's so funny because I literally was not thinking anything along those lines. I was gonna say you're just too inconvenient to travel with the kid, but
No, your kid can do it without your consent.
no, that's California.
Okay, whatever. He'll drive the 8 hours or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, it's dude. Is that what's his name?
Michael Cera.
What's he doing in a commercial?
He needs money. He's not in any shit or anything.
No way.
It's an Uber Eats commercial. That's really thinking.
Are you serious?
Yeah, when's the last time you saw him in anything?
Just stuck his finger into a patty. Oh my god. Can you IMDb his name, dude?
IMDb?
Or just Google his name. Google like the last movies that he's been in. I think the last movie he was in was Molly's Game.
Never saw it. Never saw Molly's Game. What?
You never saw Molly's Game?
Never.
Dude, you would
I
love.
heard it's a true story.
It is a true. I mean, I'm sure it's dramatized. You would love that movie, dude. You would like that movie was so. That movie was so well done. It's funny because it's one of those movies. I don't know, like it's not an artsy movie, but it's one of the better, well-made movies that I've ever seen.
It's the girl who runs a casino?
I would put it, yeah, a poker game, not a casino, a poker game. I would put it up there, like I call that top tier, like movie making. I'd call The Big Short up there with it. You watch that?
Yeah, but the
The
best,
Big Short is up there, like as a great movie.
best
It's like,
poker movies Rounders.
what? Rounders with Matt Damon? It's not the best poker
It
movie.
is the best.
21's a better movie than that.
No, it's not.
What?
Rounders is such
Kevin Spacey is.
Yeah, he's awesome, but Rounders is such a cult classic.
Yeah, it's a cult classic.
Oh my god, what a show. All
Movie.
night, check.
That's they play in Binghamton, dude.
Look at that.
In Rounders,
the
what?
AC in their shirts because it's so hot there.
In New York.
Yeah,
I heard it was nice. I heard it was there. It was nice
it's
there.
really hot there, so they have like these tubes that you can put up your shirts. AC.
Look at these guys.
They're like they're obsessed with this guy. The whole tennis world.
How much are these tickets? How much are those guys' tickets? Thousands?
Down thousands. Yeah, but you could get a ticket for $100 and up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$100 is still a lot. And by the way, with fees and everything like that,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Dude, my dad had the best time at Tedeschi Trucks.
Of course he did.
He is his first time in Bethel, and he kept on FaceTiming me all night, dude. And he's holding the phone at like a wobbly angle, and he's like, "Look how cool this is," and I'm like,
Was he a deadhead?
"No, dude, that's the funny thing. My dad is the most pop rock guy out there.
Oh, I thought he was a deadhead.
Billy Joel, Springsteen, Simon and
He turned you on to Springsteen.
he was the hits. No, he did it, by the way. He turned me on to Billy Joel.
That's a testament to Springsteen, by the way, that he didn't turn you on. You still.
Yeah, dude. The way I got into Springsteen, it's crazy. So my mom's brother died in 2017.
At a Bruce Springsteen concert.
No, not at a Bruce Springsteen concert. But a year earlier, I got my mom bought me a record player for my birthday.
Okay.
And I was building
1962?
Yeah, dude. That's why I liked it,
Okay.
And I was building up a record collection like throughout the years, right? That year, and I'd go to thrift shops. I'd buy on eBay. There's a lot of cool places to get records, and then And so when my uncle died, my grandfather gave me his record collection.
Wow.
And there's like this disgusting weird cover of a band called the Grateful Dead. I got all these like weird letterings and like crazy creepy logos. Dude, I got
that
Europe
album,
'72.
That's the Clown.
Yeah, I got the
okay.
Clown album. I got Live Dead.
You gotta have the Clown album.
I have the Clown album, dude.
You gotta have it.
And yeah, the '72 tour. So I pass on that, right? I don't pass it. I just take it. I stick it like in like the back of my room.
Of course.
And then there was a Springsteen album, and I listened, and I didn't know who Springsteen was even. I didn't know anything that he did. Yeah, but the picture of the record was so cool. It's just an all white record.
Oh no, that's Meatloaf. It's a hot
Dude, first of all, Clarence Clemens from Springsteen's band played on Meatloaf's "Bat Out of Hell" album. I'm 90% sure. At least that song. But no, it's Meatloaf.
I've been listening to so much Meatloaf.
Have you been?
Oh my god!
Wait.
Not even like the hits, just like going through his album.
Dude, he has one album.
He has
one album. He has one album, and then he has another single, which is like "I Would Do Anything for Love, I Won't Do That." Right? He doesn't actually have an album on that. I don't think on that song. I think it's just a single. So Meatloaf had a crazy career. He had a 50-year career, a 40-year career on one album. And he would get up.
Dude, my favorite thing in Meatloaf. Remember Fight Club?
Yeah, I was actually about to mention that, dude.
What was his name? Paul.
Tits, boobs, tits, something like that.
No, that was Nick, but his actual name was something.
The guy with cancer. Was he real in the end, or was he one of the? He was
He was real.
He was a real person.
Everyone's real besides Brad Pitt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Everyone's real.
Yeah, dude. Did you rewatch A Beautiful Mind yet?
Not yet, but Fight Club.
I put on Casino yesterday.
Oh, so good.
I think that movie's underappreciated, but I also don't think it holds a candle to Goodfellas.
No, it doesn't.
And I don't think I don't think. Can I have a hot take? Can I say that The Departed's a better movie than Goodfellas? Is that a hot take?
It's a very hot take.
Like, Goodfellas is a more famous movie because it's like the mafia movie, but I think in terms of like
Departed is fucking sick.
In terms of like how good a movie is, I think The Departed is a better movie than than Goodfellas. I think the cast was incredible. Scorsese was incredible, dude.
In terms of, I already know the answer. There's no debate. But what's the greatest twist in any movie?
Oh, you're thinking Shutter Island?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Not even a question.
I
was.
How many other twists? But I don't have a lot of twists.
I was blown away.
You know what's a crazy twist?
I was like, no, I thought I was in it, and I was just like, what the fuck is happening? And then you watch it a second time, and you pick up on all these little things.
Yes.
The second time is better than the first time.
Dude, that's of course. Most of the art, by the way, the real talent of these writers and directors is having the whole story in mind and dropping subtle enough clues that people won't notice, but that if they look back, they'll see it. Like, that is such a brilliance. It's such a talent.
It's so good. It's so good. And his partner is his fucking doctor. Like, it's just like, spoiler alert, sorry.
Yeah.
It's like a 20-year-old movie.
You know the better, I think the better plot twist was for me?
Yeah.
Do you watch Spider-Man with Tom Holland?
Are you serious?
What?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Is it a crazy twist?
No, it just turns out like his girlfriend's dad's the villain.
Oh.
And I was like, dude, when I watched it in a movie in the theaters, I cannot tell you how shocked I was. And the reason why is because I'm a racist by accident, and it was an interracial couple.
Right.
And I didn't assume that the white dad was the black girl's dad. The white guy. And I was like, I was so floored, dude. I was like,
You know what's a really underrated twist?
What?
Crazy Stupid Love.
You know what? I watched it and I don't remember it.
So
Is that Ryan Gosling?
Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling.
Really? They
And,
okay.
and Ryan Gosling Ryan Gosling is training Steve Carell to become a man, whatever. Like they become best or whatever. And Ryan
Oh
Gosling
yes.
is dating. He's dating Steve Carell's daughter.
Yes,
But
yes.
you don't. It's not put together until 20 minutes left in the movie.
Yeah.
And they all meet and
But you know what?
and Steve Carell's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "What do you mean? What are you doing here?" And then she goes, "Dad, I'd like you to meet my boyfriend." And like, no. They did that
so
incredibly.
yeah, but that's more rom-com-y
Yes,
than
yes.
than a twist.
But that I'm talking about straight up.
Adam
like,
Sandler movies are like that too.
Yes, that's true.
You know, I think
Happy Gilmore too.
Happy Gilmore too,
It's coming out.
featuring what's his name, dude? Travis Kelce
Okay, classic.
and Taylor Swift.
He probably called Adam Sandler. He's like, I must be in this movie. It's like my childhood favorite movie.
Yeah, dude. Adam Sandler is such a he's such a character. I can't figure him out, dude. Did you? He put out a new comedy special on Netflix yesterday.
Who?
Adam Sandler.
Really?
Yeah, I started it. It's smart. It's so smart. It's so talented, but it's so not my thing.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
I get it, dude. But I watched.
He's gonna be doing this till he's 80.
Yeah, he loves it. Why
Yeah.
not?
100%. He's probably a billionaire by now. No,
No, he's not.
he's gonna
A
be.
billion is $999 million dollars.
I'm saying
He doesn't have $999 million.
Okay, but I'm saying LeBron's billion.
Okay, but LeBron is
Okay, LeBron
an
versus
exception.
LeBron versus Adam Sandler.
You know who else is a billionaire?
What? Oh.
Springsteen's a billionaire.
Wow.
I think.
Just from record sales or whatever.
I think so.
It makes sense.
Oh no, you know he has 600 million. I think.
Ooh, he's so poor,
dude. Yeah, working man. He, you know who had $1 billion when he died?
Who?
Jimmy Buffett.
Class.
Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, from the hotels.
Had $1 billion when he died, dude.
Hotels and the music.
The hotels, the music, the cruise line.
Oh my god, everything. Dude. He cashed the fuck in. Because it was the 90s. Like people had money and it was just like let's cruise and just.
It wasn't. It was the 70s, 80s, 90s. I mean, he started playing music in the 70s.
Yeah, but the hotels didn't open up till the 90s, no?
Yes, of course. Okay. But my point is that like
he just kept accumulating.
You know, I have a biography on him. I went to one of his concerts and I was so enamored by him that I got a biography. He was playing barefoot on stage. It was so cute. And Rip, I'm so sad he died. But Rachel and I we were married for a month and we went to a Jimmy Buffett concert. Everyone, dude, anywhere between the age of 14 and 84. You know, there are people wearing parrot hats and tying Bahama shirts, and everyone's singing. And this guy goes, "Yo, this is your first JB concert?" I'm like, "Justin Bieber?" And he's like, "No, dude, Jimmy Buffett, man. He's the real JB." And I'm like, "No, dude, I didn't know that." And we had such a blast. So I bought a biography. And he really had nothing, right, when he was young. And, like, he didn't care about having anything. Like, he didn't want anything. You know, like, it wasn't, like, he figured out a way to get food. You know, like, he would just play music at bars. And, like, he would just crash at people's houses. And, like, he was just totally happy living his life like that, right? So, he got his first record deal, and he got some money. And he bought a Mercedes. He was married, right? Okay. And he got divorced. And so his wife got the car, right? So he's going to drop off the car by her house. It's so good. The year's like 1972, right? Okay. And he goes to drop off the car at her house. He opens the door to his car. He's probably stoned. Like he's probably baked out of his mind. He opens the door to his car into traffic, and a truck knocks the door off the Mercedes car, right? Amazing. So he backs the car in to the driveway so that the driver's side on the other side. So that when she walks out, she doesn't see it. Right. He gets in a car. He gets in a cab. He goes to the airport, and he flies to Nashville and does not tell anyone where he goes. And he just hides out there until it blows over. Legend. He's like, no one knew where to find him. No one knew what to do about it. Legend, dude. No one does things like that today, man. Because everyone has cell phones and you could track anyone anytime.
There you can escape.
But also,
But
like
back then
the
you could escape
world,
a
the
lot
world is more
easier.
free back then. I think like movement, like people were more fluid. You could move from place to place and like not worry about it. And
Yeah.
$100 would get you like rent, and like people would rent out their houses to other people or like an extra bedroom.
Yeah.
No one does that shit now.
No, you'd be murdered.
Yeah. Freaking Charlie Manson ruined it for everyone, man. You know, I mean, everyone, you know, people would just, yeah, man, it's so sad. It's so sad. I was reading this book about raising a family, right? About raising kids in today's world.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things it was talking about was that in the 90s and the early 2000s, other adults would look at other adults like they were, like we were all like trustworthy friends. Like we're all like looking out for each other. Like if someone's kid ran away, like an adult would be like, "Oh, you know, where's your mom? Let me help you find your mom," right?
Okay.
And now people are afraid of other people, right? So parents feel like it's them against the entire dangerous world around them, right? That everyone around them is a threat, and so parenting became a lot harder because parents have a harder time keeping up with, like, they don't want to expose themselves to constant threats and danger by going out to the world, you know, in general, right? Like it's just
Yeah.
it's exhausting and it's hard. But if you were to go out, if you were to go to the park and you felt like if Nathan ran away, you know, another parent would come up and say, "Hey, I found your son." You wouldn't be afraid of a child molester kidnapping him and running away, right?
Correct.
So,
Correct.
so we live in a much more lonely world as adults, you know, than ever before, and so there's more. So we feel like the rest of the world is threats around us.
Yeah.
But that's actually what I love about Jewish community. Like, if like when we go to when we're in, when we're in shul on Shabbos, and like you could walk out of shul, and like trust the fact that like you wouldn't leave without Nathan, but
Right.
like if Nathan was like not there, you would trust that like an adult was looking out for him and would bring
Right.
him back to you because
For
like
sure.
you know we're all like we're like we're family, we're community, you know, and so
100%.
you look at other parents like allies, not like threats.
It's very important to have a close-knit community.
Dude, watching this guy in commercials is stressing the hell out of me.
Michael Cera from Superbad?
Yeah, dude.
There's no video on this podcast. You gotta say who.
Michael Cera from Superbad, dude.
Gotta
You know who else?
gotta
Did
go
you watch The
Bob's Beer.
Punisher? The new one, the Marvel, the TV show?
No. Oh. I don't
With
know.
John Bernthal from The Walking Dead?
I just remember the movie was.
Not the movie.
With what's his name?
I know what you're talking about, but it wasn't the
So
movie.
good.
Anyway, the actor for the bad guy, for Billy Russo, who plays Jigsaw.
Yeah, he's cramping so hard. He's cramping so hard.
What does it even mean?
It's so hot, and the guy's giving him.
What?
That was a pill to stop cramping.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they have all this shit.
Cramping? No athletes cramp, dude.
Are you kidding me?
Basketball players don't cramp in the middle of the game and have to sit out.
Yes, they do all the time.
Really?
Yes.
They don't get massages on the sidelines like this.
Yes, they do.
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Happens all the time. This is the most intense, high performance like you can do. Like
It's one of the most explosive sports.
it's crazy. You have to literally boost from side to side as hard as you
This guy's
can.
in crazy shape too.
Crazy.
I can't get over that Lacoste shirt.
It's a cool shirt. I want it.
What?
I want that shirt.
Yeah.
It's probably $275.
Oh, dude. Full circle. I was going. So when we were in Aspen, Colorado.
Full circle.
Yeah, dude.
Back to Aspen. Yeah.
There's shops. So I was walking by the shops and they had the Lebowski robe. They were selling, right? It was a replica, of course, right?
Bullshit.
Just the style, right? And I'm like, it's a sweater that he wears, right? And I'm like, maybe I'll come back and get it later. Like, how much is it? You know, $80, $90. He goes, $485.
What? For why? For
Because you're in Aspen, Colorado. You're in the wealthiest town, wealthiest, you know, community. One of those on the planet, dude.
That's $1 to these people, right? It's like $30 to these people, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. The bald people have to work hard, right?
Very. Very hard to get that job. And it doesn't pay a lot. It's just like
So what's the point of doing it?
You can say you did it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like an honorary job?
The linesmen have to really, because they call in or out.
Yeah, but that just means they're part of it, the game. But they're not hustling. They're not running around.
No, right. That pays more.
Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that. They really fly.
Yeah, they have to. Look, another ready. How many do you want? This, that. He puts it back to them.
Doesn't even look at her. He just knocks the ball towards her.
Professional.
Come on, man. She's a person.
Dude,
She's a person.
let me tell you something about this sport. You are all alone. You can't talk to a coach. You can't talk to anyone. You're just in your own.
Really?
Yeah. You can't. Your coach is sitting there, but you can't.
In terms of rules,
Yeah.
you cannot communicate with anyone.
No. No, you can't communicate with your coach.
Oh.
So you're in your head. Your emotions come up. Like things happen.
Why can't you talk to your coach?
It's part of the rules.
That's stupid. What's the point of having a coach?
They're just starting to change the rules now.
But what's the point of having a coach if you can't talk to him?
It's for training and getting you mentally prepared, and telling you how this other guy plays, what you should be looking for.
But you can't talk to him during the game.
No.
So I can do that myself.
Hmm?
Watch film.
Right. It's just good to have a coach. Like, so there is a player like Nick Kyrgios. He doesn't have a coach. He's like,
oh really?
Yeah, he's like, screw that. I don't need that coach. I'll do my own thing. But his best friend is his manager, and they like have the best time together. And it's just him and his best friend, and they like clean up money together.
So, good for them. I love those kind of stories.
These Grand Slams, there's to win the championship, you have to win 7 rounds. 7 rounds, right? Okay. Each round you win is $100K in your pocket. But that's
wait. Each round you win.
Each round
is $100,000.
If he wins this match, he gets $100K like bonus.
And the person that loses does not get paid at all, or doesn't get paid.
But this is the second round, so he already has $100K in his bank account. If he loses tonight, he still made a great payday for a guy who's up and coming.
Yeah.
For 2 hours of playing, but that's besides the grand prize.
Yeah, but $100,000 doesn't last these guys very long. I can imagine.
No, it's all endorsements. But the guys who are up and coming, they need to pay their coaches and do this and that. But he's already worth $500 million. No, Djokovic.
It's so interesting. You know what's crazy. I think.
What?
How people decide to arbitrarily join a market that they know is for like the obscenely wealthy. And they just take a regular service and charge way more, and then they just make a lot of money doing that. Like I know someone, for example, that was it's not true. I don't know the guy. I know someone that has one of my friends has a friend. I don't know the guy, but one of my friends has a friend. He's a chef for people with private jets.
Okay.
Right. So he goes on the flights, I think,
and he prepares the food.
And he charges a $20,000 a flight or something like that, right? Yeah, and for 2 hours of work or 4 hours of work, right? He just decided one day, he came from no money, it wasn't like he had to jump classes. He just decided one day, this is what I'm going to do, and then he got the first booking, got the cash to do it, right? Bought the equipment that he needed. And then it's just a self-sustaining enormous business, and so and then he doesn't even like, I know that as of a couple of years ago he was like chilling and single and irresponsible, so he'd pretty much do like let's say 5 or 6 jobs, make $100,000 and just not work for 6 months,
right?
And then do it again after. I'm sure if he wanted to, support a family and start saving a lot of money, he'd work more, but. Like there's so many like those like quote unquote business hacks or life hacks are so crazy because they're so simple but they work so well.
Well, of course.
Oh, man. Wait, who's winning right now?
So Djokovic won the first set 6-4.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first of 6 games. So now the second set just started. And it's best of 5 sets.
Oh. The first person to win 6?
Is 1 set, but the whole match is best of 5 sets. So the first to 3 sets wins the whole match. So Djokovic won the first set. Now
Wait,
the second set.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now. One more time? What's the 4 and the 6?
The games they played.
So they played 10 games total.
10 games consisting of 15, 30, 40.
Okay.
And he won 6, and the other guy won 4.
And how many do you need to win
A set.
win? A set.
To win one set, you need 6 games.
So he won the first set.
Correct.
And this is the first of 10 that they're going to be playing, or
Not
however long it takes for him to get to 6.
He could win 6-0.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I see.
And they switch off serving.
Like that's also an arbitrary number. How do they decide on 6?
I have no idea.
Huh.
Why is a basket in basketball 2 points?
That's pretty stupid too, except for the fact that it actually makes sense with the free throw.
Right.
Because then you have half points, which makes it count more.
Everything should be 1 point.
What do you think? What do you think of the 4-point rule?
I love it.
You think they should do it?
I think it's gonna make them a lot of money.
Oh, it's gonna suck.
No, it's gonna be so much.
Dude, I'm not gonna watch basketball anymore if they put a 4.
I don't watch it anyway anymore. It sucks.
I know. I'm not gonna watch if they put a 4-point line, dude. I can't imagine it.
So here, that other guy, if he wins,
how is Jared compared to Jokic?
nothing. That's why he's giving him a hard time. The fact that he got 4 games off in the first set is a big deal for him.
Oh, they play 2. How many sets do they play? They play multiple sets against each other?
It's best out of 5 sets.
Holy cow, it's hours and hours.
A match could be 5 hours long. Yeah. They could go through, like, crazy hours.
Wow. Yeah. I did not know.
That's why you have to be in crazy shape. Crazy.
Wow.
This match is already... It tells you the time in the corner, how long it's been.
I don't see it.
We'll see. Right there. 1 hour and 11 minutes so far.
That's crazy. You can make 5 hours of tennis, dude.
I've watched it.
Yeah?
The Nadal Federer matches. We've been not recording this whole time.
No, we have been.
Do you want a Bud Light?
Yeah, dude. I definitely get a Bud Light. But you know, I think we're gonna call it.
Great session.
All right, brother. Yeah, we're gonna keep on watching. We're gonna keep on drinking and hanging out. But let's call it over here because we're distracted by tennis. Bye, everyone.